In the quiet edge of a weathered road, where time seemed to have stopped, stood a house that most people had already forgotten. Its walls were cracked, its surfaces peeled away layer by layer, exposing the bones beneath. Vines had claimed its façade, creeping through broken openings, wrapping around columns that once carried pride. For decades, it had endured sun, wind, and rain silently. But what if this wasn't the end of its story? What if everything you see is only the beginning of something far more extraordinary? At first glance, the structure appeared beyond repair. The roof was unstable. The façade had lost its integrity. Even the ground around it had surrendered to nature. Yet, beneath the damage, the geometry remained strong, balanced, waiting. Then, without announcement, something changed. The transformation didn't begin with noise or spectacle. It started with precision. Measured steps, calculated movements. Every action followed a strict logic, as if the house itself was guiding the process. Nothing random, nothing rushed. Steel met structure. Surfaces were reinforced. The roof, once fragile, was reassembled with layered strength, sealing the house from above. And still the camera never moved, as if to prove one thing: this was real, no illusion. No tricks, but the most critical moment came next. The house had to breathe again. Openings that were once broken and chaotic were redefined, not expanded randomly, but refined with intention. Frames were installed exactly where they belonged. Glass followed, not as decoration, but as transformation. Light entered differently now. Space changed. The house began to feel alive. Then came the skin. Layer by layer, the exterior was reborn, not covered, but reinterpreted. Light-toned stone, large format panels, subtle metallic accents. Each material chosen not only for beauty, but for balance. Too much and it would overwhelm. Too little and it would disappear. So how do you rebuild elegance without losing identity? The answer is restraint. Every panel aligned, every joint sealed, every surface refined until the façade no longer looked repaired, but reimagined. And yet, the process was never chaotic. 4 workers, always the same. No more, no less. Their movements controlled, deliberate, almost synchronized. There were no sudden changes, no visual jumps. Just steady evolution frame by frame. Even the ground beneath the house was transformed. What was once uneven and forgotten became structured, ordered. Stone met pattern, space met intention. Then came the moment few notice, but changes everything. The final cleaning. No construction, no installation, just removal. Dust disappears. Surfaces reveal themselves. Lines become sharp. Reflections become clear. And suddenly, it is no longer the same house. But is it truly new? Or is this what it was always meant to be? As daylight fades, another transformation begins, subtle, almost invisible at first. Interior lights awaken behind glass. Warm tones spill outward. The façade responds, reflecting softly. The structure, once abandoned, now glows with quiet confidence. Then rain. Not a storm, but a gentle fall. Droplets meet stone. Surfaces darken slightly. The ground becomes reflective. Light stretches across the pavement, doubling the beauty in silence. And in that moment, something remarkable happens. The house is no longer just architecture. It becomes atmosphere, a presence, a statement. What once stood as decay is now precision. What once faded into the background now commands attention, not through noise, but through clarity. So the question remains, was this a renovation or a rediscovery? Because sometimes, the most powerful transformations are not about changing what exists, but revealing what was hidden all along.